Hello everybody and welcome to my devlog of Sentieri. I'm gonna show the new beta package that we are gonna to release in the next few hours. That is beta version 0.5.0. In this version we have a lot of changes and all those are based on the feedback we have been collecting for the last 2 weeks from the beta tester users. So new UI has a different organization and it has a different logical aggregation of the features. But let's take a look together. First of all, when we have to start our part, we can select if we can choose if it's a procedural path or it's a manual path, and after we can select what kind of path that is going to be road, footpath, fence, and so on. We can have multiple patterns in landscape and with different category, different path. Let's do an example. I start with a manual road, and when I select the system as created, I see my manual road here in my hierarchy. I can delete from my hierarchy. This is going to be updated, or I can delete it from here. So to create my manual road, procedural routing is not available. We have to go in path edit and left control, mouse click, and we put our control point. And when everything is done, I'm happy. So I go to my conform terrain, I run it, and in few seconds, terrain is gonna be shipped. We can change our profile. I want to see, let's say the left surround area is 12, and I want to this kind of profile. Maybe I can also edit and I can do something like that. Okay, and I want to keep this same default. The system, yes, and it has shifted in this way. We can enable a smoother that yeah, in this case is going to smooth the entire terrain, but it's going to work only on that area, and all the jitter effect is gone. Let's restore as is, let's delete, and let's go with our procedural road. So top down view, I fix my point from the procedural routing menu. I go from here to here and to here. I scan the landscape, and I can enable the real-time builder and the real-time mesh generator, and here we are. I can add a second route that is gonna be from here to here. Again, my option again, and noted that before in that case I had to rescan my terrain. Now I don't, so I can add whatever I want as a procedural part, but I don't have to rescan my terrain. Yes, and if I go to yeah, let's delete few of those. I want to delete those. Let's create a new one from here to here. Okay. Now let's see something else. If I go in Path Edit, I can edit my road, and I want to show you Component Builder. That is where I can configure, I can set up my my path component. So we have the default lane, that is the central part. At the moment, we have locked the system only to one lane, but can be a multi-lane. Yeah, some technical reason that we are postponing this. I can change the width, but I can also do from here. And going back to our menu, I can assign a material, okay, or I can also simple disable. I don't want a mesh because maybe my path, I'm gonna paint texture on the landscape using my path. So I can assign a material. The resolution. Let's go in this. Okay, resolution is what is the distance of each triangle, and subdivision is your resolution. Usually I suggest 1.5. It's a nice resolution, but I would say that during the design I would suggest 3.5, as we have less points to move, less point to generate, and the system is going to be faster. Material type, we can assign a material to our component, and we can pick up a texture that like this, and okay, this is wrong, so I can correct. Yes, and I can substance material. So let's say this. Let's go back to shaded, and a default Unity material. Before I go to the Unity material, I want to show you something with substance, because what we want to do is, we see Sentieri as a unique center point where you can set up, you can take your parameter for your environment, and so I can expose all the setting of your substance material, and you can take from here. This is still work in progress, and this change according to the setting that are, yeah, you see, in our material. I want to say that this feature is still work in progress, but that will be the final result. We say substance or a default Unity material, and yes, here we are. You can set up your UV manually. Let's say this is 24 and I want to see 12, and this is, I split my mesh in, I have my 2-lane on one mesh road. Now let's go back 11. I fixed this. So in our case, this is 12. Okay, in our case, what is going to be is that yeah, we lock the U resolution to the width. Okay. Off track. What is off track? We can have left and right off track, where we can have a width. We can have an offset. I don't know. Can be useful. And we can also select our material. Let's say it's some sand. I put my normal. Yes. And so on. Each of those components can have a physical material that I use it, for example, in car racing. Shoulder is this additional component that can have an offset. We can add, I don't know, a unity material. Yeah, green ground. Let's say this. Yeah, ground mountain. Okay, and bound. Okay, by default bound is double-sided, but you can disable one side. You can change the height. Let's say 1 meter. This is 1 meter, and after we lock, and again we have an offset, whatever. We can apply, this is double-sided. We can select substance here. Okay, in this case we have to flip. Yes, here we are. Now we created this as a procedural part. We added it, we changed it, let's say the position, the way other parameters. If I go back to my procedural, what do you expect? If I change, I will keep my setting, and I can continue with my road. I can add one more point, and so on. If I want to edit when I'm happy, I go here, I do the same. So now we have our center lane that we say is 15. We have off track, let's say it's 3, and this is fine. So okay, we go to conform terrain. We have some left and right padding. We say surround. We can select a shape, a profile. Let's say this for left and this for right. Okay. We want to say, okay, I want to change the texture. This should be everywhere and give a left and right padding of 20 meters. And I want to use this, and you have to blend with this, and this is the weight. Let's say this should be predominant and this less dominant. So in this case is yeah, it's a normalization. It's not 56, it's the sum split 2. I run. here we are. I think it's pretty decent. Nice precision. This is now and this is before. Okay. If I go here to road, I added one more procedural road. Let's say I go from here to here. Notice that I don't have to refresh my path, it's always done. I want to keep as is. I go back to terrain conform and I have a different setting here and here. I update my landscape and now it's work for both. That's it. I want to quickly show you the profile concept. So we have our path. This is, we can load an already existing profile and the system will apply this to our path. And again, this was procedural. So if I change, it's gonna be, refresh it. And again, I can conform my terrain. Okay, what are next steps? First of all, we're moving all the landscape updating to GPU and to have a faster, smooth process on large environment and multi-tile terrain. The Splat is already on GPU, not yet integrated in the core module, but the idea is to apply to our builder, like in this case, or you can use as standalone. You can do something like that, and we can use color to see how your splatter is working. You can blend getting noise. Here you have an offset, and this is every time recalculated, and 9 milliseconds, 10, 8 is pretty fast. We are retexturing everything every time, and yeah, you can in this way. We think that this is something that can really help. If you select a Sentieri builder, this will be applied only to the path. Even here we have a profile concept, and so you can recycle your retexturing, and this is already multi-tail. You can use the water level, yes, and so this impact your yeah. So this is Sentieri and this is earth shaping. So we want to have a bunch of assets, something that all of us, I include myself, to I say let's do the work to the computer. Why we have to manually paint and so on. That's it. So thanks for watching, and in the next few hours, the new beta will be out. Just